5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shit.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, Dan Zoller, Dustin, how you all doing? Congratulations, Dustin, on that gold pan and stuff you won. We have our good friend and past guest, and we're getting a travel report from Adam the Antman, 1849er again. How you doing, Adam? Let me
Pretty
shrink
good.
myself down here. Whoops.
How's it going, Adam? I'm here too tonight.
Yep, Jesse's here tonight too.
I know. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm getting closer. If you notice, I'm down to a t-shirt and one pair of pants.
Yeah. What's the temperature there?
I don't even know. It's got to be probably in the high 40s, I would imagine, right now.
That's better than what we're doing up here.
Yeah, it was there a really nice actually in Oklahoma. I'm right on the other side of the Oklahoma border now in Texas. But when I was at Tong's place earlier, it was beautiful out. Absolutely beautiful.
How long did you stay at Mike's?
Quite a while. We went out to lunch, and he gave me the grand tour of the Gold Cube Shack. I got some awesome footage too, and then I had to shut the camera off. He brought me in, showed me some stuff that's gonna be coming out. That's gonna be really good.
Ooh, top secret.
I got myself a new banjo pan.
Oh, you'll like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They
that's
work
cool.
really good as a cleanup sluice too. If you put like a 500-gallon pump an hour pump to it,
Yeah.
It works pretty good as a cleanup sluice too. I use
Really?
it all the time during the winter for a cleanup sluice.
Yeah.
You should check out Ed's video on that. He's got a video on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it tonight. I got a lot of I got a good video of all the footage from today and a little bit of stuff. My phone's absolutely maxed out with storage right now, so I have to edit a video and put it out tonight. And then tomorrow, I'm getting up. The reason I stopped early tonight is because I'm going to be going up through the hills, and it's going to be cold, and there's possibly snow in New Mexico and northern Arizona. So I figure if I stopped early tonight, then I could muscle right through and get right down into where I want to go tomorrow. I think I'm going to end up going to Jerome first. There's an old ghost town there.
Oh, yeah. It's old mining town, Jerome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're around the Almarillo, Texas area?
Yeah. Yep. Little. I'm still east of Amarillo, but I think it's.
You'll have a nice cruise going through Albuquerque and the Indian Reservation on Gallup,
Yeah.
New Mexico.
that's another reason why I waited, because it would have been dark when I was going through there, and
You don't want to drive through there in the dark, miss all that beautiful scenery.
yeah,
No,
cash.
definitely.
Although I understand why you would want to drive through, because like I said earlier on your one post, you're a man on a mission. So I know how that
I
is. You
saw
get in,
that.
you don't want to stop. You don't want to, you just want to go till you get there.
I want to hurry up. The whole point, I want to hurry up and dig something. You know what I mean? It's driving me. I drove by, especially today. I drove by a bunch of spots, like early this morning and stuff. It was driving me nuts. I'd look down, I could see the black sand. I'm like, I'll just pull over. All right, keep going.
Well, we want you to get there and get there safe, but sometimes I've been exactly where you are, where it's like you want to get where you're going, but sometimes you just gotta slow down, smell the roses or the sagebrush, and maybe dip a pan in.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I feel like. The longest part of the trip is over. I was looking at it today on the map, and like what I drove yesterday was insane. Like I drove pretty much across the country all at once, and the first night was barely any mileage. I got screwed up in Pennsylvania there, but
we have a new name in here,
yes,
and they said "Dad" twice by.
Man who walked on the moon.
That's my son.
Oh,
all right.
Cool.
Well, he's
that's
in
Max.
the chat right now. Max, is it?
Yeah, my buddy.
Hey, Max, how you doing? He's like, miss you, Dad. Max? I'm sure he does.
I miss him.
But,
I miss him.
Yeah, because you can't see the chat.
No, he's on his phone.
Right, you can't see the chat. So.
My phone just popped up and said poor network connection, so if I lose you, that's why.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully
we'll get you back.
Stay good with us, but you seem to be all right on this end.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't trust the phone at all anymore after the last couple of days, so.
Right. Well, you can't
So
always...
you got an atlas now and a compass and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I pretty much can't screw up now. I only got really one road to take, and then once I get to Arizona, I can't get lost because I don't really have a destination anyway. So
right.
I'm just gonna go wherever I want. Mike gave me a couple of good spots that are actually public land. There's no claims on it, and you can get to them really good. He said there's some really good gold there. So
right on. Mike wouldn't lead you astray.
No. He's an unbelievable good guy, man. I mean,
oh yeah.
I almost stayed. He was like, stay the night. And
well, I was hoping you was gonna kind of take a break there, and you could have Mike Pung join you, but
yeah,
it's all right. Definitely understand.
He was busy too. He was doing a bunch
take
of
the
stuff,
show over. That would be local.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. The guy's so nice. I mean.
Oh yeah, that guy. I've met him a couple times.
Oh yeah, and he's invited me out if I'm ever in Oklahoma to come by and see him and see the facilities, his wood shop, his.
Yeah, I was in his wood shop today, man. He is unbelievable craftsman when it comes to wood. I mean, the stuff, it's crazy. The gold cube wouldn't even be here if he wasn't good with wood because I saw the original prototype.
Right. It was a wood box, more or less.
Right.
Yeah. He does some pretty crazy stuff. He was telling me that he's got some of his woodworks in like Toby Keith's house, Reba McEntire, Gene Simmons, like all over the place. It's really cool. And not just that, his gold cube isn't. Every show you watch, you see a gold cube. They're all over the place. That's what I said to him. It must be pretty cool to see your product on every show. And we were talking. Parker's got a 10 stack, and it's crazy.
Hey, it does the job that they put it through. Especially for the amount of material they run through them.
It's definitely a good product, and
right.
Mike, if you ever watch this, I have to be honest, your product's even better with the mini dream mat in it.
Yep,
We
I have to agree.
touched base on it today a little bit.
I know it's kind of a touchy subject with them, so. But.
Yeah, it is what it is, you know.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Here, the reality is, it doesn't matter who makes a product. You put it in one of our hands, and we're going to change it. I mean, that's just what we do.
It's all on your preference. I mean,
oh, definitely.
Right.
I told him I like it, but I wouldn't change my whole gold cube to it. You know, I would still keep the vortex in there. You know, I'd maybe alternate them or something like that.
No, I'm not, you know,
if I had a third tray, I definitely might leave it with the vortex mat in it. But I, be honest with you, Adam, I was reluctant to pull out the first one I did. I put it in. It worked. It worked better than it did with the vortex in it. So I had no problem ripping out the other one because they can go back again. I have connections with conveyor belt matting, which that's all it is conveyor belt.
Yeah. Yep.
So, hey.
No, well, we talked about that today. A conveyor belt mat is made to grab small stuff and rip it uphill. So if you
to carry it up.
Turn it around, it's going to grab stuff going downhill. It just only makes sense, you know. It's whether it's made for gold or not, it does a damn good job of it. And
right. Well.
Oh yeah, that it does, and nothing.
Indoor outdoor carpeting wasn't made for gold, but you know you can put it in the sluice box and it'll catch gold. So
I remember the days when Miners Moss first came out, and people were using 3M doormats that looked like Miners Moss, but it had a backing. So
I've used that myself. The rubber mats with the backing on it. I've used that. You can use. I'm actually going to be doing a video pretty soon of something along the lines of moss, but going old school style. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, you want to check something old school?
Kind of like it would be really old school, like
70s shag carpet.
no, it's something different. It's something different. Nobody's done it. I haven't seen it at all. And it kind of goes along the lines of you've seen. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that too. You guys know about Pioneer Poly?
Oh yeah. Actually, he'll be on the show in May 1st, May Day.
Because I called him today because we're gonna meet up in California. He's gonna come down and meet me, and I thought about
he's on Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
Without the ferry ride, it'd be like depending where you are in Cali, it's a 12-hour drive where I lived in Washington, which is about the border of Canada, down to Northern California at the Siskiyous. And then from there, depending where you are in Cali, you know, it could be another 12-hour drive. So
well, I told him, I said, listen, he's getting his passport squared away. I said, get your passport squared away. I'll come pick you up wherever. You know, I really want to go dig with him. I think it'd be fun. But I actually called him today just because I was going to mention him on here and see if I didn't know if you guys had already talked to him, but I told him it'd be cool to have him on the show. He's a character, so.
Oh yeah, I've watched a few of his videos, and I can only watch so many videos from the Pacific Northwest because I tend to get homesick, and then I want to go visit even more and more and more. So what can I say? You know, but yeah, he seems like a really good guy, and I can't wait to have him on, and I hope you have a blast with him, and I have no doubt both of you will take footage, so.
Oh no, well that's what we're collaborating on. Some stuff already would be pretty cool. And he's in the film industry, so he's got,
Right. Yep.
you know, I'm lacking the I'm getting used to the editing apps and stuff like that, but I think getting a few tips from him would be pretty good. You know,
Now,
help me out.
I want to
Yeah, he'd probably
ask
give you some
you.
good tips, some good shortcuts that would help you out.
Yeah.
That's
I
always good.
tend to get a little bit sidetracked, just like when I'm digging. I'll start doing one
You're
thing.
not the only one. I'm like you.
Yeah.
I'm ADD. You know. Oh, squirrel. Oh, pretty right.
The squirrel.
ask Jesse. You know. So.
Oh
He
yeah.
works
Don't
with
ask
me.
me. Don't ask me.
He can be the same way too, though.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got going.
Oh, well, we have Tina
BMX district.
from Canada with us. We have Don from Vancouver, Washington. Eric is with us. Dan Zoller, Ronald, Chris Chadwick, your son Max, and we got the hookers. That kind of came out, Ron, huh? Hook and hookette. And we have Dustin. Right on. I was hoping David would have hopped in here. And he might be out on the river digging. I know he was going to meet up with Chris, and he had a pretty busy month planned out this month. Chris,
I'm trying to get a hold of Swiftwater. I've been trying to get a hold of him for like 3 days now, and I can't get a hold of him. I posted on Prospectors radio station.
Is he still doing the restaurant thing now?
I think so. I think I'd seen a few posts from him doing his barbecue thing.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's doing.
I'd like to go eat there, actually.
Well,
go eat some of his barbecue.
I could go for some barbecue.
Look him up and send him a friends request on Facebook.
Oh, I'm friends with him on Facebook. I messaged him and everything.
Well, you know,
maybe he's out in the field. Who knows? I don't know.
Could be. Hopefully, when he gets down in camp and he can get a signal, he'll message you and hook up and set you on some good ground or something. I'm sure.
Well, I got what's going on tomorrow is I'm probably going to end up, I would imagine that I'll end up probably digging by myself tomorrow because I'm having a hard time getting in touch with the people I just posted on the Arizona page because there's Justin Allen Yayo and a few other guys from Morristown that wanted to meet up. And they're a little bit south, and I kind of want to poke around up in Prescott and Jerome and that area. So I'll probably do that tomorrow because it's, I think I still got 9 hours of driving before I get there. So if I get up early, I can get out there by, lunchtime or something and get set up. And then Sunday, I'm going to try to meet up with at least somebody and do a little bit of filming. And then Mike was telling me that there's a gold show in Quartzsite first before Tucson. Did you know that? Is it 9th and 10th and 11th, I think, in Quartzsite?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go to that and meet up with Mike. I don't think I'm going to go to the Tucson one. And then there's another gold show in Paloma, California. So it's going to work out time-wise that I can go to both of them. So I'm going to do that. It's got a couple of good things in the works.
Excellent. I'm hoping the best for you, brother. I'm hoping the best for you.
Yeah, I really, truly hope this works out for you. I mean, I know that you're planning on moving anyways, right?
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah. I could care less.
Right.
I mean, I know I'll find gold. It's not a matter of that. I could find it back east. And,
right.
I mean, I really don't care as long as it's the whole point is I hate New England. I hate the weather. I hate everything. So there's no going
so
back.
Beautiful.
It has to work.
Man, it's so beautiful there.
You know, if I don't end up.
Yeah.
I talked to my wife this morning. She's like, it's snowing, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, it's like 50 degrees here and the sun's out. You know, she's like, God damn it.
So where do you think you're going to wind up when you're, by the time you get your wife and your kids come out with you?
Well,
where do you hope to go?
It all really depends. Me and Mike talked a lot today about it, and ultimately it's going to depend on what happens with California's prospecting laws and stuff like that. Because if it
they're
ends
not
up,
looking good.
No, but I was thinking about it today, and I talked about it with Mike. There's only so many Forest Service people, correct?
Yeah.
They're complaining about the reason they're shutting the roads down is they don't have money to maintain the roads and all that crap, and you know it always comes back to money.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So if it does come to the point where they turn it into like a New York style deal where you cannot prospect at all, I don't care. They can try all they want. It's a big freaking state, right?
Right.
My theory is
time to get commando.
If it gets like that, I think that from top of state to bottom of state, every prospector, right, all collaborate a day. Take whatever equipment you want to use that day. Everybody rush the wood from top to bottom. They can't cover all that ground. Yes, some people are going to get in trouble, but
Right.
98% of the people aren't. Now, if everybody keeps doing that, they're going to get sick of it. They can't hire 10,000 more people to go walk around the woods. And I mean, it's going to come down to it. You gotta fight for it in a way. You know what I mean? You're going to have to take a hit. I'm willing to do it. I don't care. I'm not going to go there and argue. I'll explain that I'm right. You know, and it's the same thing everywhere. Up in Vermont, they don't want you doing anything. We still went out and did it. You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to stop doing it. But if it ends up being like that, and it's going to be an issue, I might end up staying down south. I'm still going to stay in California just because it works for my wife and kids and everybody. But if I can't do what I want to do, which is get a claim and actually work it, then I'll stay down towards the south of California so I can bounce over to Arizona and do my thing there, you know, if that's what I have to do. I'm still going to mess around in the woods in California too. They can chase me down all they want.
Well,
there is stealth equipment too, you know.
I'll have a ghillie suit on in my next video.
There, like Jesse said, there is stealth equipment, 12 volt. Boom.
Yeah.
12 volt. Hey,
SGS
there's a 1-inch 12 volt dredge available.
I can do a lot of damage with a shovel and a sluice box. I don't care about. I just want to be able to use my sluice. Really. I couldn't use my sluice box legally in Vermont, so I was always looking over my shoulder and stuff like that. If I could use a sluice box, I don't even really care. I mean, granted, I would love to use my high banker, but I'm fine with doing what I've been doing. You know, really, if it's better ground, I don't care. I'll dig all day long with a shovel. But if they start saying you can't use a shovel and you got to use your hands in a pan, I'm not going to fly with that. There's no way.
No.
It's ridiculous. I'll turn my hands. I'll make gloves with shovel tips on them then.
Just get a gold claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, a gold claw.
Just get a gold claw. Keep with that.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You know, I mean, and that goes back to getting everybody. If everybody on the East Coast, if we can get some kind of system I talked about with Shannon, where maybe I could get a bunch of the private land spots that I have, and to make them an AMR affiliate lands, so that there's common ground for people to go on the East Coast, because I know that's a hang up with a lot of people joining AMRA. You know,
Well, yeah, right.
Not everybody is loaded. $200 a year. Yeah, it's not really a lot of money and it's a tax write-off, but that's $200 that somebody could have put into their equipment that they're running at home. And the fight,
a month for the gold.
Yeah, the fight doesn't go to the East Coast. The fight is always on the West Coast because of the claims and all that stuff, and 90% of it's private land there. But we do have problems here as well, and I know that if people had common ground, good ground that they could go to, that more people would join, and if they had more money, because that's what it all comes down to. If you have enough money, you can get pretty much anything done. So I'm going to try to do that too, which I think would be cool anyway, just to, you know, get a little bit more involved with it. I'm going to try everything I can. You know, I'm not going to California to give up, that's for sure.
Oh, you know? I hear you. I just know California, no matter where you live, is expensive, and they have some pretty effed up laws.
I looked at for the same money that I'm paying now, but where I live in Franklin.
Mass is pretty expensive too. I've lived in both.
It's ridiculously expensive, and there's no work. So
yeah, I grew up in Cali and I lived in Mass. Like, you know, my son lives in Mass. My ex-wife's from Mass. And so, yeah, they're both expensive and they're both kind of effed up.
Well, that's another reason why California works for me, because I do concrete work. I know people that move there from Franklin that have concrete companies now that I could go work for, making the same money that I was making back east, and for $200 less a month than what I'm paying, or was paying in Franklin for a 2-bedroom, ridiculously crappy neighborhood, horrible freaking neighbors, everything sucked about the neighborhood. For $200 less, I could have a 3-bedroom house with 2 bathrooms and a nice yard. So if I can work year round and make the same money that I'm making, I mean, it works for me, and maybe it doesn't work for all jobs.
Where are you planning at geographically in Cali to live? Motherlode area off of Highway 49 in that area, like Dan Zoller's neck of the woods, Auburn.
Ideally, I would like to be in El Dorado County or somewhere up there, but I got to get there first, really. I can't really decide on, you know, a lot factors into it. I don't want...
Sierras get a shitload of snow too.
That's what it is. The whole point in this is that I don't want snow.
Be in the snow. At least
I don't want to drive across the country to go deal with more snow. That's not what I'm doing.
Now, if you can get down into like Lodi or
that's where my wife wants to live, around that area.
Yeah, I used to have a lot of family in Stockton and Lodi.
I like Mariposa. I think Mariposa's good and it's central, so if I wanted to go south, I could. If I wanted to go east, I could. If I wanted to go north, I could. I don't care about driving, you know, 4 or 5 hours if I have to, if I can stay there for a few days. Like if I had a claim and I could go stay there for a week, I don't care if it was 4 or 5 hours away. I mean, it's what I deal with now anyway. It'd be nice to be close to it. But the thing is, with California, if you look around, there's got to be gold.
There's gold everywhere.
There's gold everywhere in the middle of the valley.
From the southern border to the northern border, from the coast to the eastern border, there's gold.
Yeah, right where all the, like Stockton and Lodi and all those areas, directly north of it, there's a massive dredge running right through the middle of the state, and that's in the middle of the valley. That's not anywhere near the hills. So I mean,
well, all of it drained in through the big valley before it got to San Francisco Bay, you know.
Exactly. Hornitos, I think, is the name of it. That looks like a really good area too to me for some reason.
There's some really, as the president would say, shit holes, towns and cities in the Big Valley, though.
But that's what I mean. I can't pick a spot that I want to go to because I need to get there and actually see it. Because the things on
foot on the ground, feet on the ground. Unlike doing a little aerial prospecting before you get your feet on the ground, like we were talking about with Google Earth yesterday. That's something.
Well, that's what I mean. I have areas of interest, so.
Right. Yeah,
but I could end up north. I could end up south. It all really depends on a lot of factors.
I saw your map on the one video when you were talking about using maps and stuff on your phone.
Yeah.
And I saw all your points of interest and stuff in Cali. Yep. You look like you've been doing quite a bit of homework, which we all know that's a must, regardless.
Yeah. Yep, so. Absolutely. But the main factor is the kids' school needs to be good. You know, that's the main. I have to have them in a good school system. I can't stick them in like a bad situation type of deal. Because like you said, there's a bunch of, crappy places around, and you can't tell until you get there, you know what I mean?
Very true, very true,
I just think you're going to be disappointed when you get to California, wanting to live there.
Well,
but, you won't know until you get there.
Right.
Right.
I know that I don't like Massachusetts. That's all I do know.
Well, I can understand that, too.
If it doesn't work, I don't have to stay there. I can go wherever the heck I want. I got 6 months to figure it out before I move my family out. And I can tell you what, we are not staying in Massachusetts no matter what. I don't care if it doesn't work at all, pick somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's got to be warm, though, and there's not too many warm spots. So.
Right. And your whole families, all of you are on the same page with this. So.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
I mean, my kids go back and forth. It's when you're a kid.
Well, yeah, I can understand how Max is going to be that way, leaving his friends, leaving his school, all that.
But they've moved before, and they were the same way. And within a couple of weeks, you get new friends. I moved a lot when I was younger too, and I know that they'll be fine. It's scary, but. Ultimately, the long term, it'll be better for everybody.
Right.
Like I said, even if the gold thing doesn't work out in California, I'll figure out a way to do that. But as long as I can work and support my family full time.
Right. That's the main thing is you got something steady going on besides the gold. Because I would think that would be a really sketchy thing to try to do, especially nowadays, to try to just do it on digging for gold and trying to bring a family with you. That's
not going to work. I mean, if I could open up a large scale thing, then maybe, but you can't rely on it. I can make, if I hustle and do my thing, I can make it so it's an extra income.
Right.
But I'm not looking to be like if I can, I'd love to, but I'm not goal set on being a full-time gold miner. I know I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to work on this trip. I don't have enough money. I'm going to have to stop. I'm going to have to stop and work for a week here. And that's kind of what I want to do anyway, because I can get a feel for the different crews, the different areas,
Well, that's what I did. I did the same thing you're doing, but I didn't really have a goal in mind as far as where I was going to land and what I was doing. I came out of Vietnam pretty screwed up, so I hitchhiked around the country for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'd stay here, I'd stay there, find work for a couple of weeks, and then go to the next place. I did that for 3 years.
Yeah.
Nowadays I can go somewhere and it looks just like every place I've ever been.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm always confused as to where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've never been out here. I've been south a million times, so my family lives down south in Florida and down, with West Virginia, Virginia, all down the coast. They all want me to move to Florida, but that is not happening. I know it's nice and warm in Florida, but the only gold you're finding is on the beach.
Yeah, well, here, it's not always nice and warm in Florida either.
No, it was 29 degrees a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So.
And then when it's cold, rainy, and windy, it sucks.
Who knows? The way that the climate's going, Massachusetts could end up being tropic weather, and California could be ice cold in another year or two. So.
Well, we have to dress for it then. But yeah, I wound up in San Francisco for a year. Wound up here for a while.
Yeah. I heard a thing on the radio when I was driving this morning about seasonal affective disorder. And it affects like 80. I think I have that for sure because it makes sense. I mean, it's cold in the winter. You can't go outside. You don't talk to as many people. You get depressed with it. You know what I mean? And you're just constantly beat down. You guys know, Massachusetts is a freaking horrible state to live in, and just all around. I mean,
yeah, no offense to any Massachusettsians out there, but I've lived there too. I have to kind of
They know. They all know. They all know. If they could leave, they would. A lot of people now, they train everybody to. You have to, like, the way that is, like, you settle down, you have a family, and you stay in one spot. You don't have to stay anywhere. You can go do whatever you want. You don't have to stay there. It's not. That's like the normal thing.
People have been migrating for thousands and thousands of years.
It doesn't anymore, though. Everybody just stays put. I don't want to stay put. I'd like, just coming out here has been an experience all on its own. I've never seen any of this stuff. Everything's different and new. I would have never, and I want that for my kids, too. I want them to explore and see new things and do new things. And it's not going to happen in Mass. There's nothing else to do there.
Right.
So, I mean, ideally, if Vermont was nice, I would move to Vermont if it was warm. But it's just as cold there. So.
Right.
Hey, just gotta do it. You're still young enough that you can do this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I didn't do it now, it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, you're not right. Exactly.
I'm not getting any younger.
Unfortunately, you're married and got kids. When I did it, I wasn't married, didn't have kids. So it was just me. But that was like an experience that I think everyone needs to have, is to just travel around for a while on their own. And just making it on your own however you can. You got to realize too, I was 21 at that time. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tough situation, but I think it's the best situation for me not to drag my family all over here and try to do it that way. This is definitely the best situation where I wouldn't have survived this winter anyway in New England. So what do I have to lose really by going and trying it, besides maybe wasting a bunch of money on gas? I mean, that's ultimately that's all I'm going to lose out on. I mean,
well, even that, it won't be a waste of gas, because the experience you'll have and the adventure you're having will last you a lifetime. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going back either way. Like I said, if we end up having to move to Arizona, we'll move to Arizona. My wife isn't staying. She's sick of everything there. Her brother wants to move to California too, so if I can get him to move, then I'm trying to get everybody to move to California, or at least at least the people I like,
Well, maybe a bunch of us like-minded people should just invade Cali, and then we could work to change laws and change people in Sacramento and kick all those idiots out.
Absolutely. That's what I mean. You get strength in numbers. If we all rush the woods, I'm telling you, it would definitely make a difference. If we just kept doing it, they would get so freaking sick of it. They can't be everywhere all the time. They can try. And if they block the roads, we dig a ditch so they can't get up there to block the road.
You have a gate killer like Shannon.
Yeah.
Believe me, I went through a couple of lock gates, a few lock gates in Washington. You bet, yeah. Oh, gate. What's hard is
was that
the
locked?
tank, the tank traps they have when they have come in with the backhoe and they dig a
The big
trench and have a
trenches, rock,
pile.
trees.
Yeah.
Did you see Shannon's new video? He just did a video on, they went up and they blocked off a couple roads and stuff, and the law, they can't do it. They're literally breaking laws when they do it.
Well, yeah, they have to have access to claims and stuff.
Reasonable
it's the
access.
law. Yes,
walking 4 miles to your claim with all your equipment is not reasonable.
Not reasonable access. You're right,
if you
Adam.
pay for your claim, you're paying money to the government for that land.
Yeah,
and
it's real property. You're paying taxes on it and everything.
Well, that's what he's saying. How are you going to get out to stake a new claim if you can't get out there to explore it?
That's right.
And then they're complaining about money. Well, if they want money, stop freaking blocking everybody from going out. Because, I mean, they're shooting themselves in the foot. I don't see what they're going to gain by letting everybody not prospect. How much gold? California was built on gold. The state was built on gold. It wouldn't be what it is if people didn't rush there to go gold mine. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I hear you loud and clear, brother. Unfortunately, here we're preaching to the choir. You know what I mean? And
I was just thinking the same thing.
now,
but that's what I mean. At some point, you have to just,
like you want to do, pull us together and all of us work on cohesively on the same team instead of being splintered up like it can be and is. It doesn't work together for the common good. Exactly.
Because it's happening everywhere. I mean, Vermont is the same thing. In 2006, they stopped dredging, and now you can't run a sluice box anywhere. You can only use your pan in certain areas. You know what I mean? It can't keep happening like that because we're not hurting anything by doing it, and it brings more money back into the state. More people. When I go up to Vermont and I go up there for 5 days, I'm buying food, I'm buying gas, I'm buying supplies. That money's going into the state's income in one way or another in taxes. So if they stop it and they don't let anybody go there, that's more and more people that aren't going to be going there to spend money. So it's going to affect them in multiple ways.
Very true. And very true.
You know, I buy gas, I buy all types of stuff. You know, if I'm not going there, that's money they're not going to get. You know.
Right.
But I absolutely think that everybody should join up and join force. Whether it's with camera.
One thing that will help in this is everybody share this YouTube. Everybody hit that share button that's on here right now. That will help spread the word too. You know, I've already shared it. You know, everybody needs to share it. So to get out there to all your friends.
This algorithm, YouTube is killing me.
Oh, well, there's ways around it. But once you learn it, you'll learn more. But we're all going through it at one stage or another. But there's a guy in West Virginia that we know, Joe Smoot, the colonel. And he's actually worked with legislation there to where it's looking like there might be dredging back in West Virginia. And
I signed that petition.
So did I. And it's stuff like that. And if California or Oregon or even Vermont and other states, New York, can work on what Joe has put in motion, maybe we could, and we have a positive, I'm probably more libertarian than independent, probably more anarchist than any of the above, but you know, if we get the right people where they need to be, hopefully we could turn about a lot of stuff. The pendulum has to swing back the other way at some point out west, you know.
Yeah. You know who needs to step up? You know who needs to step up is Trump. He wouldn't have the money he has if it wasn't for the gold rush. His great grandfather made his first million off of the gold rush.
Okay.
So
right.
Trump needs to step up his game. Me and Pung talked about it today. I guess it is happening. He has started, but it's on.
I thought he got back with Shannon Poe even.
The problem with government is they're so slow.
That's what it is. He started at the top, and it's going to take a long time.
They got to talk about it, think about it, talk about it. Maybe come up with some kind of solution, but then they got to think about that solution for. So government runs so slow, and unfortunately, the only way you're going to get anything done is to go that way. So it takes more than just. It's going to take more than just everybody going out in the woods and pirating gold and whatnot.
True.
It's gonna take.
We need to have some PR.
That's a last resort. That's a last resort type of deal.
We have to get the public view with the right education. They've had so much disinformation and misinformation by ones with very, very deep pockets. If we could get people into the capitals and DC whispering in their ear all the time, like the scissor bills, as George Massey would call them, the types, the tree huggers, no logging, no mining here. Well,
walking out in the woods.
Right. Yeah.
Are they gonna stop people from going fishing too?
Eventually they will.
Eventually, they're starting off with miners right now, or not right now, but miners are a prime target because there's not as many miners as there are like hikers or tree huggers. So let's go after the miners, the weaker link in the chain at this point. So
loggers, miners,
right?
The logging thing that destroys forests.
I lived in logging country.
Need logging.
You need logging.
You need logging, but they need to do it the correct way because they don't. They do another part.
You're falling into that trap. That you're right. That's what they do now.
I know Weyerhaeuser and Crown Pacific and stuff. They replant 3 to 4 to 1. For every tree they harvest, they replant 3 or 4. People that live off the land always takes care of it better. The bureaucrats.
But that's not always the case, though, because in Massachusetts and in Vermont, New Hampshire, I've been out to some spots where they rip down all of the trees, they'll rip in fire roads, then they leave all the down trees, they leave all the old brush there, they leave it so that's fires, all types of things happen. They're not replanting trees, not the small companies aren't. But that's not the point. The whole point is we're not doing anything wrong. I can see why some people would think that dredging is bad, but it's not. It's been proven that it's not. The whole thing with California is they're hung up on the dredging thing. So what I don't get is why is it going so far if they just don't want the dredges like Vermont did? They stopped the dredging. Granted, they went a little further with the sluice box being a mechanical device, which is ridiculous, but why? I don't see why it's gone so far. They started with the dredges. Now it's like they're shutting everything down. I don't get it. Like, why? It doesn't make any sense. It just really doesn't make any sense at all to me.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything's upside down right now, it seems like.
Yeah.
I bet you if they made
we're in bizarro world right now.
Yeah, if they made something where you had to pay an X amount of money to run a dredge. You know, what's the harm in that? You're already paying for the claim. If they complain about roads and stuff like that, not being able to maintain them, then why don't we do it? We'll maintain the areas. You know, I would maintain the roads. If that's the case and they're complaining about roads and crap like that, I'll frickin' do it. You know, it just doesn't make it. It all comes down to money. It's all it is. It's all money.
Always been that.
Always
been about the money.
The bottom dollar, you know, the almighty buck.
But if it starts in California, it's only going to spread. If they do, you know, if it does go south, it's only going to spread. And then eventually it'll be everywhere, and we're not going to be able to do it at all. Unless you're doing it ninja style.
Ninja. I definitely hear you, and I hope it don't get the point that we have to be out there commando miners, you know, black flag miners and stuff.
With the headlamp on at midnight.
Yeah,
midnight
no
dredgers.
doubt.
I've been there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Well, look, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, it is what it is. I mean, ultimately, there's nothing. The government's screwed up. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It is what it is. They're going to do what they want to do. But if it comes to that point, everybody just needs to do what they want to do. You know?
When laws come unjust, it's our duty to fight against them.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's another reason why we all got to get on the same page. If we had more numbers in the fight, more
the people you need to be talking to really are the hikers, the bikers, the fishermen, the campers. Those are the people that's the masses that need to learn about what's gold mining is about, right?
Yep.
And the youth of America needs to know. They need to not, you know, we all know they're being poisoned by all the liberal thinking that's happening in schools nowadays. But you have to, you as an adult, I mean, you have to take your.
Hello, Jesse.
Every once in a while. Hello, am I talking to myself?
No.
No, you cut out for a second, bud.
Oh, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's, you know, that's what's going to change. Is you're not going to change a set mind. If you believe a thing a certain way, regardless of whether it's actually true or not, if you believe it, there's no one that's going to convince you that what you believe is not true. Right. So we have to teach the youth what they're learning, because they're still pliable.
Yeah.
Realities, you know, about what's really happening. So when we do our scout demos, we, like Ed and I, we push the good that we do by doing this. We push the fact that everything that they have on them, in them, around them is either grown or mined. You know, so it's education is where we need to go. Stealth is good for your pocket, but it's not really helping the cause. To help the cause, you need to be out there educating. I think you could do more that way and educate the youth. You know, educate the millennials too. You know, that's what's going to make the difference. Yeah. I think, you know, in the way I see, you know, we're two different age groups. You know, I'm very, very old, and you're pretty young. You know, so, you know, and I've already
kind of three different age groups. You know, yeah.
Oh yeah, right. You got you in the middle, right? And then I've experienced a lot of the stuff that you're going through now, and the thought processes that you're using right now, right? And you're absolutely right. I don't get it either. Still at this point, you may never get it, but that's beside the point. The thing is how you deal with that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I wanna work with Shannon and Amra and try to make this bridge between the East and the West. I think that will make a huge difference. And then you gap the middle with the, you know, out in the middle part of the country, and you know, there's not as much going on gold-wise, but is still, like you said, with the hikers and the fishermen and the bikers and all that stuff. If we start losing land, they're all going to be affected. So
exactly, they don't realize that at this point, because they're not being named.
Yeah.
They're not. Oh, we're gonna keep the hikers from walking through the woods anymore. It's not affecting them until they get
some
named.
places it started already. You know,
Yeah.
they closed down totally lands, only animals out here.
Right.
You know,
and that's our land. We all pay taxes for those people that are in the woods. I don't get it. If everybody can't go there to these places, then those people technically don't have jobs anymore. So,
well,
no, see here. Their job is to protect the land, like the BLM. Right. Their job is to protect the land. So in their mind, they're going to do whatever it takes to protect that land. If they believe, and again,
but it's not theirs. It's ours.
It's in their head.
But unfortunately, it's in their head that it's their land.
That's not
right.
We understand
no, it's
that.
Not.
It's not. It's our land.
That's what everybody went to war and died for, is our freedom. This is America, land of the free. We have free land. It's public land for the people.
I have a really cool bumper sticker from Western Mining Alliance. It says, "In America, you're free by permit only."
yeah, it's true. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, you know, a permit and a license is nothing more than a right they stripped from us and made a privilege, which is BS. Yes, I know we're straying way off our normal, like, Tuesday night Ain't Out Live format, where we don't get into much politics and stuff.
This is important, though. I mean, we're not going to have a show to talk about gold if it gets to that point.
It's gold mining related politics, so it's okay.
That's right.
There won't be a show to talk about gold if we don't. You know what I mean?
Right. That's true. That's true.
You know, I'll end up having to move to Australia.
I
could drive to Australia. I wouldn't be going to California.
Come on, get in that workshop of yours and build a submarine, and off you go.
I know I could get my family to move there. I know my wife would love to move there. But from what I hear, they don't let Americans in very easily.
You have to have a round-trip ticket. You have to have money enough to be there. I actually knew a guy I used to surf with when I grew up in Cali. He went there and threw away his passport and sort of got stranded there for a couple of years. But yeah, they're very, very strict. A lot like we should be, you know. But even Canada, our friends to the north, they're a lot more stricter than we are.
Oh, I know. It's hard getting into Canada.
But you know,
do you know how easy it is to get in America from Canada?
Yeah, I know.
You can walk across the lake in the wintertime and nobody stops you. Nobody stops. You can walk out in the woods across the lake over the ice in America, and no one stopped you, no one's checked you. You get into the cars waiting for you, you just go.
Yeah. Well, that's what's going to happen. They put the wall up on the border down south. They'll just go north and come in from the north. It's not going to make a difference.
They're already doing that, dude. They're already doing that. You don't understand. They're already doing it. In fact, I saw a video where the guards were a couple hundred yards away, and they watched the guys actually drive across the lake in the United States, drive back to Canada, drive back and forth.
Yeah.
No, easy to do. But that's got nothing to do with gold.
Yeah, I know. We're getting way off track now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've been on for almost an hour. We know you're tired.
I gotta edit my video tonight too. I have to edit it so I can do filming. If I don't edit my video and post it tonight, I won't be able to film anything I do tomorrow.
We need you to get
to
that.
It,
I guess we didn't give you enough time. I know you were showering and probably eating a little, and we bumped it up. Time flies, so you know, a lot of times. Mind if we get you on again tomorrow?
No, that'd be great actually, because I'll be in some pretty cool areas tomorrow. Maybe we can do something from a spot I don't know what time it will work, but hopefully I have some gold in one of these pans for tomorrow night.
Well,
that would be cool.
We could talk on FB or something and arrange a time, you know.
Yeah.
No biggie.
I know it's hard for other people that are watching. You can't do it too early because, you know, people got stuff they got to do. But it is the weekend too, so maybe
do a little Saturday.
Well, we know people will be out and about, so maybe we could do it around this time. Would you be in for that? That'd be 6 o'clock there, 9 o'clock here. You up for it, Jesse?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Could be. I'll let you know. See what's happening.
Either way, we'll do it. Antman, Adamant. I bet you.
Yeah, we gotta do it tomorrow. I'm finally gonna be in somewhere that I wanted to be, so we gotta do it tomorrow.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. Well, we'll let you get to it.
Positive talk tomorrow, everybody. We're just gonna talk about gold tomorrow. We're not gonna be talking about land clothes, any of that stuff.
Okay, that sounds good.
Excellent.
You see how that throws me off into a rant.
Yeah, I think that worked up too. I'm telling you, I was thinking about it all day. Ever since I watched that video of Shannon's, I was the whole ride to Punk. That's all I could think about.
I'll have to watch it. I haven't caught it yet, so I'll have to watch it for sure. But we should start
sharing and posting that to all the people in the state houses and stuff, and just keep flooding their emails with the video.
There you go.
Because they're literally breaking the laws that they made, so it doesn't. I don't want to get back on that subject.
Okay. Hey, Adam, you take care out there. Be careful. Have fun, and stay safe.
Definitely,
yeah, I will.
Definitely.
I'll be in Arizona by lunchtime tomorrow. So.
Excellent.
Cool. Remember what I posted, what I commented to you. You know, if you start getting down, think about what you're doing. It's your kid's future.
I know.
You know? So.
Yep, absolutely. I'm feeling a lot better now. The first 2 days was really hard, but after I'm getting a little bit used to it now, and the dog's being nicer to me. So
is he talking to you now?
He's talking. He's been talking all day. He's eating his food. He's playing with his bone and stuff. I mean,
there you go.
Him being depressed was making me depressed. I knew that he was missing family too.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to say good night to everybody because, I said I'm ranting too loud. So.
All right. Well, make sure that you watch my new video when I post it.
Okay. Be waiting for it.
Will.
All right.
Thanks again, Adam. Safe travels. Thank you, everybody,
for
watching and listening.
Yeah, thanks, everybody, for coming in tonight. And
we'll
see you again tomorrow night, right?
Yeah. If you watch later, please comment, share.
Subscribe. Subscribe
to Antman's channel. It's links in the description below.
And you got a lot of people supporting you, man.
Yeah, right? Which is cool. Thank you, everybody. I mean, it's really cool. It's nice knowing that people that are caring about what I'm trying to do anyway.
Oh, yeah. It's an adventure, too.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's why I want to do it. It's fun, you know what I mean? A lot of people never get a chance to do this. And I mean, I wouldn't. If you asked me a year ago if you thought that I'd be hanging out at Mike Pong's place and then going to Arizona, I wouldn't. There's no way. I would have never thought that would ever happen. So.
Yeah, well, here's some comments from the room. T-Name, we're here cheering you on, bro, and so happy for you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Ed and crew and Adam, for making the time to keep us in the loop.
Yeah.
Jonathan Barrett, loud and proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. And I'll keep up as much interesting stuff as I can for you.
Definitely. Thanks for allowing me to do this with you, Adam. I appreciate it also.
Ditto. Right back to you.
All right. We'll let you go. Let Jesse go. I need to eat. And
yeah, I gotta eat
Judy, I told her, it'd only be like a half hour, 45 minutes or so.
I'm telling you, that's what happens when you start talking to me.
it takes that long to say goodbye.
I know we've already said goodbye twice.
I hear you. So on this note, I guess it's time to say goodbye, huh? Adam, thank you very much, Jesse, bro. Till later.
No
you all be safe out there. You'll like
Get
that
yourself a
banjo
band.
You'll like it, Adam. You'll
I know.
like it.
So yeah, good night, everybody.
May you always have a flash in your pan, and you never know. You may see Adam on the river, Dan. Anyone out in AZ, and maybe one day too, we'll see you all on the river. Until then, may you always have a flash in your pan. Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you. Four, three, two, one.